Hello, my name is Daniel Herron, and I'm here to discuss why certain types of jobs in the United States are never to return, no matter who is president. Let's focus on manufacturing for a moment. What would be the perfect way to describe manufacturing jobs in the United States? As reported by the Brookings Institute, there were 6 million jobs lost in manufacturing between 2001 and 2009. 6 million. The reason for this drop of manufacturing jobs of 2001? China joined the World Trade Organization in 2001. And as reported by the Brookings Institute, the U.S. could have immediately reduced the incentives for manufacturers to offshore jobs by taking a harder line against China's currency manipulation and wage suppression. But that didn't happen. There was no hard line. There was no backing up the people because corporations were making too much money. Too many wallets were being padded. So they left the American manufacturing sector to die, or to sell it overseas for a profit. That's just one part. Next, we all know about jobs being lost here in the United States. But what is specifically killing our jobs? Well, there's the unfortunate bankruptcy and closing of the doors that does destroy a lot of jobs. But there are other things that are more important to the cause of our job loss. One being outsourcing. Outsourcing is the hiring of an outside company to perform a task that would otherwise be performed internally by a company, such as call centers, where you call the phone company, you get that bright, cheery person from India, IT, and it is a $480 billion global industry in 2012 alone. It is massive. And corporations in America want a piece of that. They want the savings and they want the money. There's also offshoring. Now that is to send both knowledge-based and manufacturing work to third-party firms in other nations, taking advantage of lower wages and operating costs. Now there's also a thing called captive offshoring. Now that's when a US-based company purchases and or builds another company in a different nation, such as Apple, Kraft Foods, Coca-Cola, and that's just to name a very, very small few. Now there's also insourcing. Now that's when an outsourcing service provider sets up shop literally into a client's company's facility. It's been happening a lot, and insourcing does have a couple other meanings in a global manner, but we can't get into that today. Offshoring, outsourcing. What does all this amount to? It amounts to globalization. Now, globalization, offshoring, outsourcing, combined with free trade agreements, means that the United States is part of the global economy. We are a part of the global economy. We have been for a long time, and we will be. Now, you can hear some rhetoric from different sides that we should be a private economy. Well, that isn't going to happen. And we're going to be continuing on as a global economy, especially with what Plunkett's Outsourcing and Offshoring Almanac Industry 2010 has to say about it. What does this mean to you? What does it mean to the consumer, the worker, and you? Well, that means that 95% of all shoes in America are made in China. That's not too bad. We kind of expect that, unfortunately, nowadays. And there are some positive notes, actually quite a few positive notes about globalization. Products manufactured offshore for corporations that are headquartered in the U.S. are very often intended for sale in offshore markets. For example, Apple's popular iPhones. Now they're manufactured in Asia. And yes, they're sold here in America, and they're sold in Europe, but guess what? They are selling them in Asia at an increasingly alarming rate, making it profitable and intelligent. Why build your corporation in Hawaii when all your sales are in Russia? go to the source, build it, sell it there. It's just business sense. The problem with being a part of the global economy is we got to apply by global rules. Now, by the International Labor Organization, it states that in the next decade, we as a planet need to create 600 million jobs just to stay at the rate we're at now. And that still leaves 900 million jobs that make less than the US $2 a day. The US is in trouble. The Europe's in trouble. The world is in trouble. But we can pull this together, especially the United States, by retooling our education, focusing on sciences, technologies, engineering, and get away from the 9-to-5 push-a-button factory job worker. Those days are gone. Those days will never return. We need to get with the now, the future, and we can succeed, but we have to change. And some people don't like change, but that's exactly what needs to happen. Be it Obama, Mitt Romney, or whoever it is, we have to change as a people. Thank you.